Hello everyone and good evening. How are we all doing? Hi Dorcas, can you confirm that you can hear me?
Yes, I can.
Um, all right, thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, good evening everyone. I hope we're doing great. I'm happy to meet each and every one of you on this call today. So if you don't mind, I would like to know from. And by the way, my name is Vivian Siama. I'm a senior cybersecurity specialist here at Analytics. So you can just drop it in the chat. Let me know where you're joining us from for this session. And we're going to have an amazing time, obviously. I just want to get to meet you guys. Tell me your name and where you are joining from in the chat. And then while the session is going on, just to keep you informed, my colleagues will be dropping a form able to get access to the materials for the session. So please make sure that you fill it out, all right, and you gain access to the materials we'll be using for the session. So I can see Mildred from Ghana. Hello, Mildred. How are you doing? Welcome to this session. I want to see other people in the chat. I'm not seeing other people so that we can start. I want us to introduce ourselves. Okay, I can see Doctors from Canada. I can see Jessie from UK. I can see Books from Chatham. Wow, amazing, amazing. Nice to meet all of you. Nice to meet you guys. So I'm going to share my screen in a bit, and then we're going to start. So another thing you can do for me is to let me know what you're hoping to gain from this session. I mean, most of us here want to transition into tech, and tech is one amazing place to be at the moment. So that is exactly what the session is going to be giving you clarity on how you can transition seamlessly into cybersecurity. All right. So we're starting any moment from now. I'm trying to see if okay, I can see Uche from UK. Hello Uche. I can see Omo from Greenham. Hi Omo, how are you doing? Welcome to the session. Welcome. So I'll share my screen now so that we can start. Yeah. Okay. So here we are. So for this session today, we're basically looking at which cybersecurity careers is best for non-techies, right? And I believe each and every one, maybe some of you might be technical, some of you might be non-technical people. And if you're non-technical, I mean, I'm even the best person to pass this message across to you this evening, all right? So you get to know why I said that in a few minutes as we go into the session. So I'm just checking to see if anyone else has, dropped a comment. But that's fine. So if you have any questions, right, during the session, please drop them in the chat. I'll pick them up and we will answer your questions. Okay. So again, we're looking at which cybersecurity careers is best for non-techies in cybersecurity, right? So moving on from this, I will be taking us through exactly what we do here at Analytics, right? I don't know if my screen is moving at the moment, but okay, let's try this. Okay, so I think it's moving now. All right. So I'll be telling us about Analytics basically, and I'm sure if you've been interacting with us maybe via social media, you basically already know what we do. But then I'm going to like give you that holistic view. So we're basically a leading edtech educational company focused on providing you specialized training in technology skills and delivering comprehensive data consulting services. We've done this over the last 4 years, building talent from technology workforce, and we've helped over 2,500 people, more than that. I mean, we actually helped more than that, more than 2,500 people transition from the classroom into their first jobs in tech. And we've done this across the UK, the US, Canada, Europe, Africa, Asia. And I see that a lot of us who are joining this session are also coming from this country. So you are definitely in the right place. Okay. So we're committed to making technology sector more accessible through premium trainings in data analytics, business analysis, data engineering, data science, financial analytics, HR analytics, agile project management, cybersecurity, which this session is about, and AI engineering. So yeah, like I said, you guys are in the right place for this session. So I'm hoping that before the session is over, you gain clarity on exactly how to transition seamlessly from a non-technical background into cybersecurity. Hi, Gideon. I can see you in the chat. Hi, Jeffat. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Apologies if I did not. Okay. So, but welcome to the session. Amazing to have you guys here. All right. So we're going to move on from this, and I'll just give you, brief intro about myself, the amazing lady you are seeing. So I think I already said my name in the beginning, but then there are more amazing things about me, and I said I was going to give us a little bit of secrets today. So my name is Vivian Itiama again, and I'm a senior cybersecurity specialist here at Ten Analytics. And I have experience from security operations, threat intelligence, incident response, digital forensics, and I hold certifications like ISC squared, Blue Team Level 1. And I mean, I have a proven track record in the cybersecurity space, basically helping to implement different kinds of controls for organizations from RBAC to zero based access control, MFA solutions, identity access management, and a lot more than that, right? I don't want to start blowing my trumpet, but I've been able to assist people in this space. I've been able to mentor them, and they've been able to transition seamlessly into cybersecurity. And one of my passion, right, is to actually make cybersecurity more accessible and, basically just create impact in people's lives. So yeah, that's me for you, and happy to meet all of you again. So if you've not introduced yourself, please, I'd love to see your introduction in the chat. Okay, so let's move on from this, and I'll be giving us an overview of my colleague Priscilla, who is joining me on this session. Okay, Priscilla is joining me on this session, and we're basically going to have an amazing time with her as well. And she's a very, very good expert and career strategist, and she has close to decades of years experience in the world of blockchain technology and data analytics. And she's a growth catalyst here at Analytics, and she has been instrumental into helping individuals like yourself navigate the complex tech landscape and guiding you through choosing the right career path. Okay, she also helps to onboard into data-driven paths and providing the support that you need to land your very first job. So that's Priscilla for you. She's joining me on this session, like I said. So hi Priscilla, I hope you are there. Okay, so we're going to move straight into what we will be doing today. And like I said, if you have any questions at all while the session is going on, please by all means ask questions, drop them in the chat, and I'm going to pick them up. Also, my colleague is going to be sharing a form for you guys to fill so that you gain access to the materials that we are using for this session. Okay, all right. So what are we actually going to be doing in this session today? Number one is I'll be taking you through, special career paths that non-techies can take, right, in cybersecurity. And then after that, I'm also going to give you the pathways to becoming the cybersecurity analyst, talk you through our growth internship program. And then obviously we always have discounts for you guys every single time. So that's one thing that we're going to be talking about in this session as well. So moving on from that, we're going into the session proper, and I'm just going to give you behind the scenes of what we do here at Ten Analytics. So yes, what is cybersecurity? So aside from the definition I'm going to give, I would like each and every one of us to know what cybersecurity is, maybe where you're working at the moment, you have a cybersecurity team. What do you think they do? What is cybersecurity about? You can actually drop that in the chat, and I'll pick that up. I love a very interactive session. So I'd like us to be very interactive in the chat as well while we go through the session. All right, so cybersecurity involves safeguarding systems, networks, and data against digital threats and attacks. Its main objective is to maintain the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of digital information and resources, and this is illustrated by the CIA triad, represented as a triangle. So if you can see this diagram on my screen, right, it represents the CIA triad, and out of everything, in fact, anything we do in cybersecurity relies on this CIA triad: confidentiality, availability, integrity, right? So, in terms of confidentiality, you want to make sure that, oh, who are those that should have access to this information and who are the people that shouldn't have access, right? That's the essence of confidentiality. Very, very simple. Okay. So you want to make sure that you are taking steps as a cybersecurity analyst to make sure that, oh, there are certain information in my organization, and even us as individuals, we have information that we don't want other people to know about or other people to gain access to. So you can see that cybersecurity, cuts across several aspects, not just organizations, even individually. So that's what confidentiality is about. And then we come to availability, making sure that information is available at when it is needed. Very, very important. Imagine that you want to transfer money and maybe you're in a restaurant and the bank app is not opening, or the bank app is opening and you're trying to make that transfer and the transfer keeps returning error, 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 right? That's what availability is. As simple as it sounds, I mean, you're going to be frustrated in that moment if you are unable to do that transaction, right? So that's one thing, cybersecurity involves: from confidentiality, availability, and then we move to integrity. So what is integrity? Making sure that data is always correct, right? No matter where that data has been to, where it's coming from, that data has to come correct. So again, an example, because I love to give examples, right? So an example is your bank app. Again, imagine you logging in and let's say you had like $100,000 in there, and then you log in and you're now seeing that it's now like 20,000. You'll be wondering like what's going on, right? And immediately you start calling your bank and saying, what have you guys done with my money? What's going on? Can somebody explain to me what is happening with my money and all that, right? So that's the essence of integrity. So you want to apply these things to not just your personal life, to the organization where you are, whether you are currently a cybersecurity analyst or not. And again, this is something that is going to help you stand out in your workplace, right? And obviously, we give you this training here at Analytics. So that's the essence of the CIA triad and what cybersecurity actually is. So why is cybersecurity for everyone? Because I know that's the question most of us are asking. Oh, is cybersecurity not so technical? Oh, it's not for me. That's what you'll be thinking about in your head right now, or maybe before this session. But I mean, this session is answering that question already. So first off is that we have a lot of jobs globally, and not just a lot of jobs that don't have people working in those roles, right? So statistics show that 3.5 million jobs are currently on field, and there are more to come, right? In the coming years, there are more to come. So this is just like statistics for now. The job market is really in high demand, right? In serious high demand. And people from diverse backgrounds, no matter where you are coming from, right, you are able to do cybersecurity, and organizations will look for you. They are looking for you at the moment. So why not start your training now, right? So I remember I said I was going to tell us something that would, help us understand why cybersecurity is actually for non-technical people. So that thing I was going to say is that me personally, I transitioned from sociology to cybersecurity. I had zero, I'm telling you, zero technical knowledge, zero idea that cybersecurity could even be a whole career. And I am here teaching you about cybersecurity. Isn't that amazing, right? So you can imagine what you could do if you start your training now, and the amazing things you can achieve in cybersecurity, basically. I'm very sure you guys saw my profile from the beginning and you'll be wondering, oh, she's coming from sociology. How does she know all these things, right? That is because I had an amazing training, and no matter the background I was coming from, I was able to transition, use whatever I already knew to come to cybersecurity, and I'm basically doing very well. So yeah, moving on from this, we are going to look at jobs, right? What are some roles in cybersecurity that are out there, non-technical roles, and companies are actually looking for people to fill these roles at the moment. So roles like security compliance analyst, security awareness and training specialist. So you might be wondering, oh, what do I need to know and stuff like that. Just you need to know just the basic things in cybersecurity, right? That's all you need. And wherever you are coming from, whatever skills you are bringing, or you know how to teach people very well, security awareness training, right? You've gotten a specialization area for yourself. If you are someone that enjoys maybe, oh, you like talking a lot, you love to document a lot, IT auditor, IT, maybe lead implementer, depending on the kind of compliance that organization is using, let's say like standards and frameworks, right? So those are things that you can bring from your non-technical background into cybersecurity, and you are going to thrive. And I'm someone that always tell my mentees and my students that even from the very first class that you learn cybersecurity, I mean, you're already a cybersecurity analyst for me. All you need to do is to put yourself forward and say, oh, this is what I now know. I just did my first class and this is what I know. Trust me, there are people that have even gotten jobs in 1 week. And I'm not kidding. People have gotten jobs in 1 week, even before they finish their training, in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, right? Before they finish their training. So these are some jobs out there and specialization areas for non-technical people, right? And even people that are technical at the same time, most of them get into these roles and then they are able to interact with other colleagues in other cybersecurity roles as well. And you can see how much cybersecurity people get paid around the world. Like it's not small cash, right? It's not small cash at all. And if you really want to transition, all you need to do is start your training and start putting yourself out there and saying, oh, I'm into cybersecurity and this is what I'm doing, and you can learn these roles that you can see on my screen at the moment. So moving on from this, like I said, if you have any questions, please go ahead and ask your questions in the chat. I will be answering these questions. So again, looking at unlocking your superpowers and using your specializations or your background, wherever you're coming from. I think I've said a lot of that already on this call. So you might be someone that is coming from law and you're like, oh, what do I know? How do I start? Right? We have things like cyber law, we have compliance, and I have a lot of colleagues that are into that we're into law, and currently they are leading sessions when it comes to helping organizations comply to standards and frameworks globally, right? You say, oh, I'm coming from education, I've been a teacher, I'm a lecturer, and I want to start cybersecurity. Security awareness is the way to go, right? Just being in the session alone while we teach you, you are able to transform that knowledge and you're able to teach others as well. So security awareness, very, very important. Academic research, then we have business and finance. If you're coming from there, you also have governance, risk, and compliance, because you're able to help people from these industries comply to different standards and frameworks that are required for their organizations to maybe get contracts, basically comply, make sure that their reputation is not damaged. Because if you are not protecting customers' data, at the end of the day, when there's a breach, it is your organization that is going to face the issues, right? And you're going to lose trust in customers. People won't want to do any business with you, basically, right? So if you're also coming from healthcare, you're thinking, oh, what can I do? I don't think tech is for me or cybersecurity is for me. Trust me when I say it is for you, because a lot of cyber attack happens in the healthcare industry, happens with different hospitals. And I've even heard of a scenario where people actually died, because of a cyber attack, Okay, I think their whole systems were locked down. They were not able to carry out tests. They were not able to treat patients, and it actually caused deaths. So you can imagine that you are needed as a healthcare professional. Your knowledge from healthcare and then combining it with cybersecurity, it's definitely going to fly. Okay, so moving on from this, we're looking at what are the skills you already have and the career that you're about to have in cybersecurity. So communication, that's a skill. Problem solving, that's a skill. Attention to detail, very, very important. So if you are someone like that, in fact, everything I have listed on my screen, you know that you are someone like this, that, oh, what I do, I'm able to do this, I'm able to do that, communicate properly, I can solve problems, I have maybe compliance knowledge, I'm able to adapt to any aspects of cybersecurity or anywhere I find myself, I'm basically able to adapt. Someone like me, I have that skill, right? There's nowhere in cybersecurity you drop me. In fact, there's no industry you drop me that I'm not going to thrive. Why? Because that's who I am, right? That's who I am. And adaptability is something that people actually still build along the line. Critical thinking, documentation skills, persistence, those are things that we need in cybersecurity. So if you are currently using it in another industry or generally, you know that I have these skills, right? I have these skills. I solve problems. I have empathy. I know how to teach people. I know how to continue learning, right? Because cybersecurity technology in general is a field where you are going to continuously learn. You're going to continuously have, you know, things to learn. In fact, you don't stop learning in cybersecurity basically, in tech generally, right? Aside from cybersecurity, you continue learning and learning and learning and learning. And while you are learning, you are also implementing what you learn, right? So that's the essence of having this kind of skill, continuous learning. So again, before we move on, my colleague is dropping the attendance form in the chat. So please kindly fill the form so that you are able to have access to these slides. Okay, I think I have something in the chat. Ademola is saying, heard about a hospital that was hit with ransomware and they were unable to access their system. Amazing. Yes, it happens. Actually, it happens. It happens. And it's not the first time, it's not the second time. Sometimes, aside from ransomware, they can hit your system with malware, they can delete files. Imagine them deleting patients' records. And this person, let's say, for example, there's a critical case in the hospital now the doctor doesn't know the medication to give the patient. That's a very disastrous situation, just like Priscilla said, right? Very, very disastrous situation. So these are things that happen out there, and that is why you are needed in cybersecurity, right? So there's no need having cold feet or feeling like, oh, I don't have the time or this and that. It's just all in your head, right? That's what I would say. Most times we're the ones just talking ourselves out of these things and feeling like, oh, I don't think I can make it in cybersecurity. I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can do that. But at the end of the day, if we really check those communication skills, the way you are able to translate technical information or information that's so bogus and you're able to make it very simple. That is what we are looking for in cybersecurity. I'm telling you the truth, right? That is what organizations are looking for to be able to translate, oh, there's a risk here. This is the threat to our organization, and this is what we can do to stop it, right? In the case of the hospital now, obviously, I think some hospitals might not even be thinking, oh, we need to update software or anything, right? But as a cybersecurity person, you are able to come in to that kind of environment. And this is where your attention to detail actually plays a role for you now, right? You're able to come into that environment and you're able to say, oh, I think there's a risk here. We've not been able to update the systems for the last 5 years. Trust me, there are organizations like that that have not updated system, except in a case where the system just automatically stops working. That's when they now say, oh, let's update. So that's your job to make sure that you are paying attention to the areas they are not paying attention to. And you're able to bring these things to their attention and say, oh, this is what we need to do, and this is how we can do it, right? So that's what cybersecurity is about. So, how do you thrive in cybersecurity? Again, continuous learning, right? You want to cultivate a learning mindset because cybersecurity to succeed here, you have to start with a strong desire to learn, right? And 10 Analytics is already giving you that opportunity to say, come and learn cybersecurity with us. So that's the first step. Second step, stay ahead of the curve. So the cybersecurity landscape is dynamic, it's always changing. Technology itself is always changing. And that is why you will always be needed. Take it from me, right? So the more you are able to adapt with this change, the more you are able to stay relevant, the more companies are going to look for you, the more you're going to get jobs, the more you're going to get contracts, the more you're going to get projects to work on. Okay. And then build your network. So it's not just enough to say, oh, I'm learning cybersecurity, and then you just keep it. Nobody knows that you are learning cybersecurity. Nobody knows that you even know anything in cybersecurity. And even in your current workplace, even as small as, oh, I know something about phishing, or I know how to do two-factor authentication. They might not know how to do it. Tell them, oh, I would like to carry out this project throughout the whole organization. So that's one way you are able to build your skills. That's another way you are able to network. And before you look, you've gotten yourself into a very, amazing and rewarding role. And then gaining practical experience, which is what we give you here at 10 Analytics as well. So let's get into it. So I have a slide here that says what is phishing, and phishing is one issue. In fact, currently, phishing stands at the top threats that organizations face worldwide. And you are wondering, oh, as a cybersecurity analyst, what are the skills I'm supposed to have? This is one skill. If you can help them solve their phishing issue, right? Help them solve the fact that employees are clicking on links or clicking on attachments, or going to several websites and filling in details. That is a win for you and that organization, right? So what exactly is phishing? Phishing is social engineering, where cyber criminals impersonate people and steal information or spread malware. An example is a fake bank email that asks you to verify your account details through a malicious link, and this is something many of us have experienced, right? And why does this thing work? This is where now you are wondering, oh, tech is not for me. If you understand what phishing is and you are able to teach people in an organization and say, oh, this is how phishing works and this is how you can mitigate it, right? Trust me, there's no organization that won't look for you. This is one first skill, because phishing is like the greatest threat at the moment to a lot of global organizations. And why does it work? It works because there's no catch for human beings, and human beings are emotional. We always, oh, we want to rush and do something. There's this urgency. Oh, if I don't do this thing now, it's going to close. And then these cyber criminals already know that we are people that, we want to trust other people for something, right? So they can bring something that looks so good to be true. And I mean, if the person is impersonating your friend at that point, you're going to trust your friend, right? So this is something that is always out there for organizations, and they are looking for ways to actually stop it. So if you are able to translate this issue and say, oh, this is the solution I have, for me, cybersecurity is a field that is very, very creative. It's not just a one size fits all thing, right? And that's what I tell a lot of people. So if you are able to say, I know this thing and this is how we can solve this problem, trust me, organizations are looking for you every day. So what are different types of phishing we have? We have email phishing, we have phishing, we have smishing, we have social media phishing. So I'm very sure some of us are very familiar with some of these types. Email phishing, where you receive fraudulent emails that you do not solicit for, or you receive a phone call in case of phishing, right? And they're asking you to share one sensitive information. Oh, can you call your BVN? Or can you call the card number details or stuff like that, Or you receive SMS that contains malicious link, or the person is telling you they are your classmates from 2005 and they lost your contact, they just got your contact from somewhere, right? And social media phishing as well, where fake social media posts or messages are designed to deceive people. So they might do something that is so good to be true and say, oh, you can win this if you click on this link and you register and stuff like that. And before you look, people have actually fallen for it. Because again, human beings, we are very emotional and we're always tilting towards trust, urgency. You're just curious, you want to know what this thing is about. Okay. So these are some phishing red flags that you can take back from this session, back to your organizations, for you as an individual, and you can implement them, right? Or even tell people about them. And this is what actually takes you from being, just someone that didn't know anything in cybersecurity and now you know a lot in cybersecurity. So phishing red flags, unknown sender, you don't know where it's coming from, suspicious link, you do not solicit for that. They say dear customer, more like a generic greeting instead of saying dear Vivian, for example. That's what a lot of companies do these days. They address you by your first name, right? Instead of saying dear customer. Or you have like urgent request, something that's telling you you don't do this right now, something bad is going to happen. Those are red flags, right? And then we have attachments that maybe come with the emails and they're like, open this document. If you open the document, your whole system could actually be locked down, right? And then spelling errors. So those are things you want to look out for. So again, I mentioned attention to detail earlier. So if you are able to have these skills, you're able to pay attention, you can catch whatever the cyber criminals are doing, and you are able to, stop them and also make sure that you keep organizations secure. Okay. So moving on from here, I am going to hand over to my colleague Priscilla, and she's going to tell us how we can get started in cybersecurity. Hi Priscilla, can you hear
Yeah,
me?
hi, Vivian. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, thank you. Thank you for an amazing session. Hi, everybody. My name is Priscilla, and I'll take the session up from here. But before I go ahead to, let you know how you can get started in cybersecurity, especially for those of us that are concerned about the career path that are not too technical, right? I'd like to hear from you. Okay, so just let me know how the session has been. If you've had a good time so far, please leave a yes in the chat. If you've enjoyed the session and you've had a good time listening to Vivian talk about cybersecurity, please leave a yes in the chat. I see a couple of us in the chat, and this other half of the session promises to be really, really fun and interesting as you'd literally get to know how you can get started in any of these career paths in cybersecurity, and how 10 Analytics can help you achieve your goal, which is to transition into cybersecurity. So please, I can see Ademola, Kristen, Abel Bay, excellent. It's good to have you here. So I'll literally, just get right ahead with the other half of the session. All right. So Vivian has been able to talk us through what cybersecurity is, the non-technical career path in cybersecurity that you can easily go into. Okay. And I'm pretty sure that you're now aware of some career path you can go into. And right now, how do you get started? So I've literally outlined certain steps for you, crucial steps, which have proven to work over time. All right. So here at 10 Analytics, we've been in business for quite a while, and we literally know how to strategize and ensure that we're giving you the practical steps that have worked, no fluff. Okay, so how do you get started in cybersecurity? The very first thing you want to consider for anybody getting into tech, looking to transition, into cybersecurity, you need to ensure that you are getting into a career path that is high in demand. Now, what this does for you is, it reduces the hassle of spending so much time applying to jobs and not getting anything, right? Now, you want to ensure, first of all, that the career path you've chosen is one that is in demand. And beautifully enough, almost everybody here, is interested in cybersecurity because this is a cybersecurity session. So I'd like to make that assumption, all right, that every single person here is interested in cybersecurity. And here at 10 Analytics, if you heard Vivian talk about the career path we're focused on, you hear a couple of them, right? You hear a couple of them. What we did to come across or those 10 career paths is we needed to see, okay, in as much as tech is broad, we needed to see career path that will land you a job the fastest. So we did our analysis where we took a look at major job boards across the economies. right? To see the career path that recruiters are, or the roles that recruiters are looking to fill up. Right, that was first thing that we did. The second thing that we did, we also took a look at the future of jobs report by the World Economic Forum. Now, the World Economic Forum is made up of your tech leaders, right? Your Jeff Bezos, your Elon, and the likes. And what they do is to chart the course for different career paths, right? And to analyze the career path that will grow in demand and the career path that will fizzle out. Okay, so as soon as we were done with consulting the Future of Jobs report, we also did something called regional analysis. Now, through this regional analysis, we took a look at different regions, right? And especially as it concerns immigration. For somewhere like the UK, we have what is called the skilled worker visa, and they're setting eligible occupation for that visa. All right. For somewhere like the US, we took a look at the job titles with highest H-1B acceptance rate. Okay. And for somewhere like Canada, we also took a look at the provincial nominee programs across different provinces. And guess what? We came, to a conclusion that these 10 career paths that you'd see here on my screen, they are career paths that will land you a job really, really fast. All right. Now, I need you to bear something in mind. Okay. Getting into cybersecurity, okay, your goal should be, how do I get into this space and succeed? How do I get into this space and get a job? Right? If you think about it that way, every single thing you do will be in line, and will point you towards achieving your goal. Right? Now, like I said, the cybersecurity career path, according to our analysis, according to the Future of Jobs report, and according to, our regional analysis, it is amongst the career path that will land you the job the fastest. All right. And I actually included some reports here so that for those of us that are really worried, what the future of cybersecurity is, the prospect and all of that, you literally get to see what you are about getting into, right? And how invaluable it is in this time world. Now, according to the reports I have here, okay, so cybercrime intensified sharply in 2024 to 2025. Okay, organization faced approximately 1,800 to 2,300 attacks per week. Ransomware was involved in approximately 44% of breaches. Phishing surged over 1,200% year over year due to AI, and average breach cost rose to $4.88 million per incident. Now, I just need you to pay attention to this. So you see that this career path you're about getting into, you see how necessary, how absolutely important and invaluable it is in this time world. All right. Now, the second point I have here is, according to the World Economic Forum, it ranks cybersecurity amongst the top 15 fastest growing professions worldwide. Okay, so what this means is, the cybersecurity demand, the demand for people that are cybersecurity professionals is projected to grow 33%, in 10 years from 2023 to 2033. So if you are here and you of the notion that cybersecurity is saturated, here's what this report has to say. It is expected to grow. The demand for cybersecurity professionals is expected to grow approximately 33%, from 2023 to 2033. Okay. And in as much as this career path is growing, right, there's still a huge gap. There are still a lot of jobs, a lot of roles that are yet to be filled. Okay, it takes me to my third point. Okay, so growth over recent years has not necessarily closed the talent gap as millions of roles remain unfilled. Despite the consistent hiring, the shortage still persists because remember, right, there's approximately 1,800 to 2,300 attacks per week. Okay. And it just goes to show you that there's a huge demand for cybersecurity professionals. All right. Now, in 2025 alone, that was just last year, the US recorded 514,000 cybersecurity job postings, right? While globally, 3.5 to 4.8 million cybersecurity roles remain unfilled. So you see that this career path you're about getting into, it is a hot cake. It is one that is in demand and it is one that will land you a job really, really fast. All you need to do is learn the right things you need to learn and become employable, right? Now, the last point here says that recruiters struggle to fill roles due to skill mismatch, budget limits, and unrealistic hiring models. Okay, the problem is not lack of interest, but lack of job ready alignment. Now, I'll speak to those of us that are big on certifications, right? Just listen to that again. The problem is not lack of interest, but lack of job ready alignment. It doesn't, nowhere in this report or in all the reports that I've seen so far, does it mention certification. Okay, so for those of us that are big on that, you do not need a certificate to land your first job in cybersecurity. All right, you do not need that at all. All right, 59 to 95% of security team report critical skills gap. What you need is the skill. What you need is the skill to get your first job in cybersecurity. You need to be very strategic. You need to focus on the right skills. All right. Now, getting into this career path and looking to get a job, you need to also know what employers want from you. I haven't figured out that this career path is one that is growing in demand and one that will land you the job the fastest. You need to know what recruiters, what employers want from you, because that way, you are preempting and you are getting ready for the job market. Okay, it is a different thing when you feel like, oh, I feel recruiters would want me to have this certificate and all of that, right? It is different from knowing what employers, what recruiters truly, truly want from you. I was speaking to a recruiter over a call last week, and he mentioned categorically that certificates are bullshit, right? They literally do not, mean that you can do the job. They don't mean that you are competent. So getting into this space, it is very crucial that you understand what employers want from you. Now, employers want just two things from you. Think about it. Put yourself in the shoes of an employer, right? If you had a couple of people and a role that is available, you're looking to fill that role up, what would you want from the person? Right? Now, from experience and all of that, we've come to realize that employers, recruiters just want two things from you. That will be your skills and your experience. Okay, they want to see that you have the skills. They want to see that you have what it takes to protect their assets from external attack. They want to see that you know how to block the attack, right? They want to see that you're conversant with the tools. And apart from that, they also want to see that you have experience. Have you done it before? Right? In as much as you have right there on your CV, oh, I know how to use Splunk, I know how to use Wireshark, and a lot of them. Have you done it before? That is one other thing they want to see. Apart from the skills, they want to see the experience. And the skills put together with your experience makes you competent. All right. So right now, we've spoken about the things that employers want from you, the most important things that they want from you. That would be the skills, right? And the experience. So what are the skills that you need to succeed in cybersecurity this year? A lot of people make the mistake of going on YouTube and just learning aimlessly. All right. So you go to a job board and you see, oh, this is requiring this skill. You go to another job board and then you just go on YouTube and you're learning everything. Okay. You're always learning, but you're unable to practice what you've learned. So what we've done here at Analytics is to curate the right skills. Okay, that you need to equip yourself with to land a job and to succeed in cybersecurity. All right. So if you take a look at my screen, the things you need to learn, the skills you need to learn, and the tools you need to learn as a cybersecurity professional are right here on my screen. Now, I need you to know that cybersecurity is not just one role. Okay. Cybersecurity is not just one role. It is a couple of roles combined together. Okay. And what we've done here at Analytics is to ensure that we are preparing our cybersecurity professionals to become well-rounded. Okay, a cybersecurity professional that has the skill to monitor the digital assets, try to spot unusual activities. That is one. A cybersecurity professional that is able to attack, right, and try to look for vulnerabilities before the bad hackers will prey on those vulnerabilities. As well as a cybersecurity professional that can make up policies and rules to guide the organization, rules that are aligns with the laid down cybersecurity rules and regulation. So all of these skills put together would make you a well-rounded cybersecurity professional. And this is exactly what we have here at Analytics. So what are the skills you need to get? Right now, the first thing you learn here at Analytics is the various cybersecurity roles and the technologies used in these roles. Remember, I said cybersecurity is not just one role, it is a couple of roles put together. Right? So coming into Analytics, the first thing you get to understand and learn is the various cybersecurity roles and the technologies used in that role, right? And then you now go to the foundation of cybersecurity, information security principles and risk management. You must have heard Vivian talking about the CIA triad. All of this is embedded in the information security principles: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. All right. Now, after learning this, you then go into network security, threats, and vulnerabilities. All right. Then you go into Security Operations Center roles and responsibility. Now, the SOC analyst, the Security Operations Center. Hi, hear me. Just leave a yes in the chat. I didn't realize I was thrown out of the call. If you can hear me, please leave a yes in the chat.
Yes, we can hear you, Priscilla.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you so much. I didn't realize I was out of the call. So I was saying, I was talking about the key learning areas, the skills you need to learn getting into cybersecurity. And one major thing you get to learn here at Analytics is how to detect threats and also respond to threats. All right. Then you also get to learn incident response and threat intelligence lifecycle. Then you go into your open source intelligence gathering. Then you go into malware analysis and threat actor profiling. All right. Then after that, you go into penetration testing. Okay, your vulnerability scanning and network reconnaissance, the various exploitation techniques. Then you go into GRC, your governance, risk, and compliance. All right, you get to learn about the various frameworks such as ISO 27001 as well as NIST. Then you get to learn compliance audits and policy development, then security awareness training and reporting. Now, these are the skills that you need if you are looking to get into cybersecurity and succeed. All right. Now, here are some of the tools to the right part of my screen. You'd find some of the tools and technologies that you need. Tools such as Wireshark, VMware, Metasploit, Burp Suite, and the likes. And need I tell you that you do not need a background experience before coming into cybersecurity? Okay, you heard Vivian say that she had a background in sociology, and right now she's a senior cybersecurity analyst at Analytics. Okay, so this is a career path that doesn't care about your background, regardless of wherever you're coming from, you're able to learn these tools. And through the help of Tenalytics, you are able to learn in such a way that will be gaining experience while learning. Now, as a beginner coming into cybersecurity, you need to be very, very strategic. If the goal for you is to get a job, your learning process has to be taken seriously. Because after learning, you want to land a job. But if you go for an interview, the recruiter would expect you to have an experience. That means that the experience that is expected of you, you need to gain that experience while you're learning. All right. You need to gain your experience while you're learning. This is why you don't want to just go to platforms, where you just watch videos and you're barely practicing what you're learning. That would watching videos alone, completing capstone and labs alone wouldn't give you the much needed experience that you need. So if you really think about it, right, the way that mid-level professionals, are able to move up the ladder, it's just by the experience they've been able to gather. And what gives them the experience, right? The projects they've worked on. So you as a beginner looking to transition, you need to gain the experience by working on projects while you're learning. So here at Analytics, we are very big on practical experience. We are big on projects because that is what will enable you to succeed in this year. Right? So you see all of the key learning areas here, all the skills you'll be getting, you are learning by doing. You are learning by working on projects. Such that if a recruiter asks you, tell me one time where you did log analysis or network monitoring, you are speaking from an experience point of view, and nobody will take that away from you. You're able to confidently say that I use this tool and I use that tool to do this. And you're only able to do that if you truly learned in a project-based environment. And this is exactly what you'll be getting here at Analytics. All right. Now, I've also highlighted the best way for you to learn if you need to land a job. Okay. Number one, which I've mentioned, you need to learn in a project-based environment. Learn by doing the real work. So that way you know what it means. You have the confidence. Yes, I'm a SOC analyst. Yes, I'm an information security analyst. All right. Because these are projects I've worked on and they've helped me gain my experience. Now, it is not enough to just, learn in a project-based environment. In the tech space, it is more of show me, right? Show me. It is more of show me in the tech space. So, in as much as you've learned, in as much as you've worked on project, you also need to showcase your skills. You need to showcase your work. And this is the best way to learn if you want to land a job in 2026, especially when it comes to cybersecurity, a role where there's so much demand for these professionals. All right. You need to learn in a project-based environment, and you also need to showcase your work. Now, that's being said, okay, after you're fully aware that the cybersecurity professional is one that is in demand and you know how to learn, you know the skills you need to learn, there's also something called positioning. All right. There's something called positioning. Now, the reason why you hear of people, oh, I've been trying to, break into this space for so long. I've gone through this training, I've gone through that training, I have this certificate, I have that. It's because they are not well positioned. Now, the technical skills, all of the, using Wireshark, Splunk, and the likes, they are not enough to get you the job. You also need to position yourself for success. And what is in positioning? Positioning is basically how you stand out. Because anybody can pick up the skill. Anybody can say, oh, I've learned network reconnaissance. Oh, I've learned log analysis and network monitoring. But how do you stand out? All right. So what we've done here at Analytics is to also ensure that while you're gaining the technical skills, you are also gaining the employability skills. And you combine the both of them, the technical skills and the employability skills. That is how you succeed. All right. Now, for the employability skills, what do you get with Analytics? How do you stand out with Analytics? All right. Now, the first thing we do 2 months into your training is what is called the CV review and revamp. All right. You're looking to apply for a cybersecurity role. There's a way your CV has to be structured. All right. There's a way your experience has to be put together. So coming into the program, we're able to ensure that your CV is well reviewed and revamped. Okay. And one very beautiful part about all of this is because of the way you are learning. All right, the way you are learning at Analytics, the way you're gaining the employability skills, the technical skills, working on projects, building a portfolio, you are able to confidently have on your CV that you have worked for Analytics as a consultant or a contractor. Imagine somebody without prior experience learning, being strategic about their learning journey, gaining the right experience, and on their CV, they can confidently speak to a work experience. So you see how coming into Analytics, you're not starting from scratch. All right, this is the real deal. Learning in such a way that you're able to land a role. Okay, so on your CV, you would have that you've worked for Analytics, and your job description will be the impact of the project that you've worked on. And when you're asked to defend that, you can do that any day, anytime, because those were your projects. You literally worked on those projects firsthand. So after we've been able to achieve that with your CV, we go into the LinkedIn optimization. These days, whether you like it or not, whether you like to be there or not, if you're trying to apply to a role, the recruiter will go on LinkedIn to check you out. All right. So, and most times, when it comes to us here at Analytics, when we're looking to fill up roles, we go on LinkedIn, right? And then we put the role up there. We look at the people that appear in the top search and we go through their profile. So if you want yourself to be amongst the top searches for particular roles when it comes to cybersecurity, your LinkedIn profile has to be properly optimized. It has to carry the right keyword. Every single detail right there on your LinkedIn profile has to carry the right keyword. That is something you get to learn. You learn how to embed your portfolio right there on your LinkedIn profile. And you can also have Tenalytics as your work experience. Now, after that, we also teach you how to navigate the job market. All right. Now, how do you apply to jobs basically? Are you just doing the easy apply or you're putting in the work? You are making sure your CV is keyword optimized. Now, what we do here at Analytics is to ensure that we teach you how to apply to jobs. You see that cybersecurity role that you're looking to get? There's a there's an exact way to apply to that role so that you stand a really good chance. And that is what we teach you here at Analytics. Now, we don't just stop at that. What we've done is to also subscribe to premium job platforms. Okay, so that apart from the traditional job boards you would have access to, your Glassdoor, Read.co, and the likes, you also have access to other premium roles, visa sponsorship roles, remote roles, contract-based roles, and the likes. And you get this here at Analytics with no extra cost. All right. Then we also prep you for interview. Okay, it's your first time breaking into the world of cybersecurity. You come across a GRC role and it's something you're absolutely interested in. If you have an interview coming up, all you need to do is book for a session here at Analytics. Now, it doesn't matter the number of interviews you have coming up. You will always have a professional that will do their due diligence on the company, take a look at your profile, and prepare you for that interview. All right. Then, of course, you would have job reference letters. Remember that on your CV, you have that you've worked for Tenalytics. Okay, either as a consultant or a contractor. They'll definitely reach back to us to, provide reference letter. That is absolutely one important process in the entire job application lifecycle. And that is something we do here at Analytics, okay? Provide you with, compelling job reference letters. Then on the job support, a lot of our participants don't usually come back for this because of the things you learn and the way you learn. But we still have this here at no extra cost. Say you get your first job in cybersecurity and your first task, you don't know how to go about it. You have the opportunity to come back to Tenalytics for something called on the job support. Then, of course, you have your weekly mentorship sessions. How do you build confidence? Now, in these mentorship sessions, you have people that have walked the talk, people that have gotten jobs in the cybersecurity program. They come back and they talk you through their experience. You also have global recruiters right there in the session, telling you the do's and don'ts, the things you need to do, right? The things you need to avoid as well. All right. Then you also have the Upwork optimization. So Upwork is a freelance platform. All right. Now, this combined with your technical skill is how you stand out and you stand out beautifully well. Okay. Now, all of this, here at Analytics, the technical skills, the employability skills, right? The duration and timeline to get equipped with all of this is 8 months. Okay. And I also need to mention that you have a lifetime access to Tenalytics. Say that you start your cybersecurity journey now, okay, you get a job in the next 5 years. If you have an interview coming up and you want to be prepped by Tenalytics, you can still come back to us. So in as much as the program duration and timeline is 8 months, it is still a lifetime access to all of the resources. Okay, now this 8 months is split into 6 month learning and 2 months of internship. Now, your learning will be done here at Tenalytics. All right. And your internship will be done with a company that we've partnered with. All right. And guess what? Right there on your CV, you don't just have the opportunity to put Tenalytics alone as your work experience. Now, this company where you'll be doing your internship, you're also able to have them as your work experience, and they're able to provide you with reference letter. Now, Tenalytics is a company that is registered in Canada. All right. The company we've partnered with for your internship is registered in London. All right. And then you get a certificate that is accredited by the American Council of Training and Development. So, for those of you that are bothered about Canadian experience, this is absolutely sorted. For those of us that are bothered about UK-based experience, you meet recruiters that are big on that. With analytics, it is sorted. And of course, right there in the US as well. Okay, so all of these things you'll be learning, you have your live classes and your self-paced videos. Now, we run a blended learning model here at Analytics, and this is very intentional for us because majority of us looking to transition, right? Majority of us looking to transition. We're working class professionals. We have families that we need to keep up with. Sometimes we even have to take on multiple shifts, but yet we want to transition. So what we've done here at Analytics is to make learning, as flexible as possible. And in order to do that, we came up with the blended learning approach. Now, with this blended learning approach, you have your live classes on Saturdays alone. Okay, you have your live classes on Saturdays alone, and each live class is only for 3 hours. Okay, now what we've done, we're big on flexibility, is we have the morning and the evening class. Now, the morning class is best for people in Europe, UK, Africa, because it happens within 11 a.m. Watt to 2 p.m. Watt. Now, for those of us in the UK, it will be 10 a.m. Watt to 1 p.m. Watt. All right. Then you have the evening class, which is best for people in North America. Now, this class happened within the 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Saturday. For those of us in Canada, US, it will be your 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. All right. Now, if you're in the UK and you work in the mornings and you wouldn't be available, you can still choose to go for the evening classes. All right. If you're in Canada, US, and you prefer to learn really early on Saturday, so you get it sorted with, you can still go for the morning class. All in all, you have the opportunity to choose either of them. Okay. Now, while your live classes happen on Saturdays, it's just 2 Saturdays out of 4 in a month. Right? Then you also have the self-paced videos to augment with it. Now, Tenalytics has told you that you have 3 hours live class on a given Saturday. With the self-paced, you have the opportunity to learn at your convenience. Now, you're now choosing the time and the place. From Sunday through to Friday, on Sunday, you can decide, oh, I have 2 hours. I need to commit to my learning journey. All right. And I learn better at night. So you'd have access to projects, you'd have access to resources that you can learn at your convenience. And that is what you do from Sunday to Friday. All right. So you blend that with your live class, on Saturdays, which is just 3 hours on a Saturday. And then during the week, you get to choose how many hours you want to commit to your learning journey. All right. That is the timeline, and the duration of the live classes here at Analytics. And I also need to mention that all the sessions here at Analytics, all right, every single live class, all of your employability sessions, they are all recorded. Okay. And you also have a lifetime access to them. All right. Then you have what is called your mentorship sessions. They happen on Thursday. All right. And yes, here at Analytics, we are big on support. Okay, because we assume that every single person looking to get into our cybersecurity program is a beginner, right? And you're getting into this field for the first time. You are learning. So you would need as much support as you can get. So what we've done is to ensure that you get real-time support from your facilitator every day of the week, whenever you're stuck. So remember, you would go through the self-paced part of things from Sunday to Friday. Say that you're working on Wireshark and you have difficulties, you can get real-time support, from your facilitator every day of the week, whenever you're stuck. Okay, so you see how fully packed this is. And all of this put together would ensure that you're set on the right track to succeed as a cybersecurity professional, learning at Analytics. Now, all these things I've said, I know it might seem, she said a lot, and all of that, but it always would seem impossible because if you think about it, how do myself, a complete beginner from sociology, from arts and all of that. How do I even go into cybersecurity, right? And then succeed. Okay. So I've also, put in success stories here. All right. I've also put in success stories here. And what I want to do, right now, school is to
I'm
share
truly
one of the success stories. All right, so that you at least get to hear for yourself. And then you get to see somebody, just further buttress on the things that I've mentioned. Okay, so I'll mute my mic and I'll just let this play for 2 minutes, right? Just listen in, right? Hear somebody talk about their experience while learning here at Analytics. So you see that it corroborates with every single thing that I've said so far. So I'll go ahead to mute my mic and then let this play so that you hear from Chukwebuka, somebody that took our cybersecurity program, and was able to get a job after learning. All right, so I'll play this now.
Excited to share my experience with analytics. First, I heard about analytics through social media. I kept seeing testimonials of people and posts from people who had like successfully transitioned into like the tech through their programs which they advertise, and that really caught my attention. After doing some research, I decided to join the cybersecurity September cohort. The learning experience was outstanding. The course was hands-on and practical, and very relevant to what you could find in the job market. We didn't really just focus on the theory aspect, but we also had to work on like real life scenarios using tools like Wireshark, Splunk, and that kind of helped me to build my technical skills and experience. Beyond the course itself, the mentorship session where you have like a one-on-ones and the extra support was game changer. Having access to like mentors who were like really involved in the industry and also trying to help out as well. And those kind of created some sort of clarity and decision making, which really helped in my job search as well. I'm very happy to share that. I'm also like a success story. I secured the steps, cybersecurity role with the training, the support I received, and everything. Like Analytics played a huge role in making that dream a possibility. To anyone who is thinking about joining Analytics, do not hesitate. I would suggest you start right away. If you're determined and committed into the learning process, you definitely grow and be able to get to this level that I am in at the moment with their mentorship and the real support which they provide as well. Finally, a big thank you to Toby. Very grateful. She was very helpful. She was our coordinator. She really gave us a lot of insight into learning and growing into analytics and really helped us in kind of creating like a structure in our mind in the cybersecurity space. I just want to thank everyone. Thank you to Analytics for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So I hope you were able to hear that from the horse's mouth, right? So that you get to see that every single thing that I've mentioned that you'll be getting, from the support to the mentors to your CV getting revamped, you will be getting every single thing here at Analytics. You'd also find people with no prior experience being able to get a job, within 60 to 70% completion rate of their cybersecurity training. All right. And what I've done is to just put a link to the testimonials here on the slide. So if you want to get access to this, listen, probably go look for these people on LinkedIn. You want to fill the attendance form so that you can get access to my slide and you get to hear all of the beautiful success stories. Okay. I've also attached a lot more success stories here. Okay, so basically, what is the next step that you need to take? All right, what is the next step that would ensure that you succeed as a cybersecurity professional? In fact, ensure that you first of all transition into cybersecurity and then you succeed as a cybersecurity professional in 2026. All right, it is a no-brainer. What you have to do right now is to join our next cohort, which begins on the 7th of February, 2036. All right. So if you're looking to transition into cybersecurity, this is the perfect time for you to transition. Okay. And, what would it cost for you to, get into the training here at Analytics come the 7th of February? Okay, now the standard cost for our training program is 1,250 US dollars. All right, for a lifetime access, reference letters, mentorship, and a whole lot. You just need a lifetime commitment of 1,250 US dollars. But guess what? We're always big on flexibility. We do have an early bird discount. Okay, we have an early bird discount running. Now, with this early bird discount, you get 20% off. Instead of paying the entire 1,250 US dollars, all you need is 1,000 US dollars. All right. And this is where it gets really interesting. You see that 1,000 US dollars, you don't need to pay the entire thing before you're able to take advantage of this early bird discount. All right. You don't need to pay the entire $1,000. All you need is $200 out of the $1,000. So right now, if you've got $200, you can go ahead, to make a commitment towards succeeding in cybersecurity, towards achieving your goals. Okay, that is exactly what you need. Now, remember, this is a discount, and like, all other discounts, it is limited. Remember, this is called the early bird discount. And what we've done is just to open up 20 slots alone for this early bird discount, just 20 slots. All right. And at the moment, eight of the slots have been taken. So we have just 12 slots available. And we're about 28, 27 on the call. So if we get 12 people, to take advantage of this early bird discount, the price reverts back to normal, which is 1,250. All right. But I wouldn't advise you to do that. Okay. So if you're looking to take advantage of this early bird discount, my colleagues will be dropping the link to the registration platform right there on the chat. All right. So you find the link to the registration platform right there on the chat. And what I'll do right now is to, walk you through how you can take advantage of this discount. Because remember, it is limited. It is just for the first 20 people, so that you're able to take advantage by paying only 200 US dollars. So Dorcas, please share the payment link, right? So that people can get access and take advantage of the discounts while they still can. Okay, so I'll also copy the link and put it there in the chat, and then I'll walk you through how to take advantage of this discount. Okay, so I've just put the link there in the chat, and as soon as you click on it, it brings you here, right? It brings you to what is regarded as a Analytics website. Okay, what you want to do is just scroll down. Now you're interested in cybersecurity. This platform contains all the courses we have here at Analytics. So what you want to do is scroll down, right, and look for cybersecurity. That is what you're interested in. Okay, so when you see cybersecurity, you'd see buy now. All right. So you want to also click on buy now. And as soon as you're done clicking on buy now, this opens up to you. Now, the next thing you want to click is enroll now. Meanwhile, this houses, a detailed curriculum and brochure that you can go through, and you literally get to see all of the things you'll be learning here at Analytics. So beneath enroll now, you'd see download brochure. It's something you can go through, and then you also get to see the curriculum and the likes. But if you're looking to register immediately, so you'll be part of the people that will take advantage of this early bird discount, what you want to do is click on enroll now. All right. And when you click on enroll now, it brings you to this page that, is asking you to confirm your enrollment. Now, you first come across something called select your preferred cohort. Now, remember, I said that the next class, will be starting on the 7th of February. And you can, take advantage of this discount for that cohort. But guess what? You can also take advantage for this discount for the March cohorts. Now, we have a quote that begins every month, and this early bird discount applies to the both of them. So if February is too close or you have things planned, you can go ahead to select the March quote. The discount still applies. All right. For the sake of example and demonstration, I'll choose the March quote and I'll scroll down, and then you get to see the payment options. Remember, we're big on flexibility. We have monthly payment plans. Remember, with this 20% discount, you're paying a total of 1,000 US dollars, right? And with the 5 monthly installments, all you need to take advantage, like I said, is 200 US dollars. All right. And what this means is you pay $200 every month, and by the fifth month, you would complete your payment. Imagine for an 8 month journey, right? You are completing payments by the fifth month. You're literally seeing what you're paying for. So it's a win-win situation. All right. So what you need to secure a discount is 200 US dollars. Of course, you can go for the other installment plans. Okay. But for sake of example, I'll choose the 5 monthly installment and I'll click on apply discount. Now, as soon as I'm done clicking on applying discount, it would apply the discount. And what you want to do is you would see a breakdown of the payment you are to make. So if you choose to secure a discounted slot today, the 15th of January, the next time your payment will be due will be February, right? And then you have March and all of that. Okay. And guess what with Analytics? If your next payment date is February 15, but you know that you're not going to get paid by the 15th of February, you can also edit your next payment date. So if the 15th of February doesn't work for you, you can get to choose, other time that will work for you. Okay, so you see how flexible this is, right? Now, once you've seen the payment breakdown, scroll down, check the box that says, I confirm my information is correct, and also check the box that says, I have read the Tenalytics terms and conditions. And what you want to do is click on Pay Now. As soon as you click on Pay Now, you get to that point where you can put in your card details, you get debited, and you're fully registered for the training. Okay, taking advantage of the 20% discount. I hope that was clear to us, and I hope we get to register and take advantage of this discount. So that being said, I've come to the end of my presentation. Okay, I've come to the end of telling you how you can get started in cybersecurity, and how you can also thrive, how you can position and take advantage of the discount we have ongoing. So what I want to do now is to take your questions. Okay, and I hope we've had a good time so far. All right. So if you have questions for me, please just leave them in the chat. All right. The next 5 minutes, will be for question and answers. So if you've got a question for me, feel free to drop it in the chat, so that I know that you have a question and I can, just read out your question and provide answers to your question. Meanwhile, if you've had a good time so far, please leave a yes in the chat. Nancy, I see you're happy that you've had a good time. If you've had a good time, you've enjoyed every bit, you've come to understand what you need to thrive in cybersecurity, right? And how Tenalytics can help you transition, give you the experience you need, please leave a yes in the chat. Ademola, I see you as well. I'm really happy that you've had a good time. All right, so let's keep it coming. Ebube says, yes, I have. If you have questions, remember to put them in the chat, right? We have the next couple of minutes for questions, right? Just ensure that you're not paying more for something you could have paid less for. All right. Ensure that you are taking advantage of the discounts for either the February cohort or the March cohort. So that being said, I'll just, give a minute to wait for a question. I'm not seeing any yet. I guess everything is clear. Everything myself and Vivian explained was really, really clear. All right. So if you don't have questions, thank you so much for joining in. Meanwhile, I'm just going to wait back for a minute to see if anybody has a question. I take that and we bring the session to a close. Okay, so just please leave your questions in the chat if you've got any question for me. All right. So I'm not seeing any question. And so as not to keep us further on the call, it's been a beautiful 1 hour, 26 minutes. And I really appreciate you for joining in, for speaking with us, or for learning, from Tenalytics and benefiting from this session. So that being said, we'll bring the session to a close. I'm really happy we've all had a good time. I hope to see you in class come February, or come March. All right. So just do well to take advantage of the discounted slot and enjoy the rest of your day, please. Thank you so much. Cheers. Okay, so I see a question. You mentioned hands-on support for 2 months. What does it entail? Okay, so that's the internship, right? You have your 6 months learning where it's totally hands-on, hands-on support. You get to work on projects. Then after that, you have the 2 months of internship. Now, what this internship will do for you is it will help you work on more projects. Okay, the more projects you work on, right, the more expanded your portfolio will be. Projects from different industries. Okay, and what we've also done at Analytics is remember that during the learning journey, you learn what it means to be a SOC analyst, a pen tester, ethical hacker, and then the GRC officer. So after your learning journey, you get to now see that, okay, I think I prefer GRC, right? During your internship, you focus solely on GRC related projects. I hope that answers your question, Ademola. Hi, Ademola. Please let me know if that answers your question. All right, beautiful. Do you get paid? No, you don't get paid. It's absolutely for your benefits because imagine you're looking to become a cybersecurity professional in the healthcare space. Going to recruiters, they would want you to have, at least experience in cybersecurity when it comes to healthcare. So what this internship does for you is to give you that, right? Experience projects across different industries. Make your portfolio, broaden your portfolio so that you stand a better chance, Jess. I hope that answers your question as well. All right, beautiful. Okay, any more questions before we come to the end of the session? If you've got a question, please leave it there in the chat, and I'm more than willing to take your question. All right, we've got a minute extra. If you have a question, please leave it in the chat. All right, so we've come to the end of today's session. It's been a very beautiful one. Thank you so much for joining in. Please enjoy the rest of your day. All right, cheers and bye for now.